She had walked into the gleaming ballroom with confidence, every eye on her, every whisper trailing behind her steps. The billion-dollar deal was supposed to be her crowning achievement, the partnership that would cement her company's legacy. But instead of respect, she was met with smirks, laughter, and cruel comments whispered loud enough for her to hear. A black woman, a self-made CEO, mocked by those born into privilege. They thought her success was luck. They had no idea what was coming. Wait a second. Tell us where you're watching from in the comments. And don't forget to subscribe for more powerful stories like this. Her name was Aisha Daniels, a woman who had built her empire from nothing. Born into a working-class family, she understood struggle better than anyone. She worked long nights, held down 2 jobs through college, and eventually founded a tech company that reshaped the industry. Within a decade, she was sitting at the same tables as billionaires, leading negotiations worth hundreds of millions. For Aisha, business wasn't just about profit. It was about shattering ceilings, proving that brilliance and perseverance knew no boundaries. On this particular evening, she prepared to finalize a $900 million deal that would expand her company's influence worldwide. The grand ballroom was glowing with chandeliers, crystal glasses, and tailored suits. Yet, beneath the sparkle, Aisha sensed a current of tension. The quiet glances, the hushed voices, they weren't admiration. Something darker was brewing, and she was about to face it head-on. The family across the table represented old money, generations of wealth and power that carried arrogance like an heirloom. They leaned back in polished chairs, their smiles thin and dismissive. At first, Aisha focused on the numbers, the revenue projections, the unmatched innovation her company would bring. But the subtle insults began to bleed through. A smirk when she explained the strategy. A condescending laugh about how impressive it must be for someone like her to have reached this point. Then, one of the heirs joked that she should be grateful just to be invited. Their words were daggers wrapped in velvet. But the sting was sharp all the same. Aisha had fought this battle before. From boardrooms where she was the only black woman to interviews where her qualifications were questioned, she had learned to stand tall. But this night felt different. This was no silent doubt. This was humiliation, staged in front of investors and peers. The comments escalated until one of them sneered that she probably practiced her pitch in the mirror. Like a secretary. The room erupted in laughter. Each chuckle was another attempt to strip her of dignity, to remind her that in their eyes she didn't belong. But what they couldn't see was the fire behind her calm smile. They mistook her silence for weakness. In reality, she was making a decision that would turn their empire upside down. The ballroom grew quiet as Aisha gently closed her folder. Every laugh, every insult still hung in the air. With measured grace, she rose to her feet, her voice steady and piercing. She declared the $900 million deal canceled, effective immediately. Gasps rippled around the table. Investors sat frozen, unable to process the sudden reversal. Some scrambled to soften their earlier remarks, their arrogance collapsing into panic. But Aisha's calm stare silenced them more than any words could. In that moment, she was no longer the woman being mocked. She was the force that held the future of the deal. And by walking away, she didn't just protect her dignity, she took theirs with her. For the first time, the laughter was gone. The next morning, headlines blazed with the news. The Billionaire family had lost one of the biggest tech deals in modern Sao Paulo history. Their arrogance cost them everything, while Aisha Daniels emerged stronger than ever. Her company's value skyrocketed, Her name celebrated worldwide as a leader who chose integrity over compromise. For Aisha, the victory wasn't just financial. It was symbolic. She proved that respect cannot be begged for, and prejudice cannot go unpunished. Her choice sent a ripple through boardrooms everywhere. Dismiss someone because of their race or gender, and you risk losing far more than money. This wasn't just Aisha's story. It was the story of anyone who had ever been underestimated. And the question remains, how many more must rise before the world finally changes? Comment below. Which country and city are you watching from? Take care.